Hey guys, Ralph here. True Power, Trumpet Fitness. Wonderful Wednesday. Another beautiful day here in Connecticut. Cold. Okay. I'm going to stop talking about cold. It's December, and it's going to be cold until March. So let's see. I just won't stop doing that. Okay. Anyway, I want to knock this off. I'm on my way out for a very, very busy day. I won't be home till late this afternoon. So I want to knock this off. Power. Why play the trumpet if you're not going to play strong? Play the flute. Much easier. We'll talk. All right. Yeah. Enormous double C's and Orban. That is number 9. Yeah. Depending on how much time I have, I don't always get to the last ones. Yeah. I'm not thrilled with 13 and 14, so that works out good. But usually I get, 1, 2, or 3, and I try to do a couple of them every day. But anyway, power. Tone, power, range, and endurance. Now, tone and power are very, very closely related. A big tone, a small tone, a weak tone, okay? But power. Now, granted, guys, I'm old school. Guilty as charged. And the reality of it today is that even your mediocre high school, not even mediocre high school, but your small high school usually has a several $1,000 board in the back that takes care of all the acoustical things. There's microphones everywhere, listening to the jazz band or whatever, and there's a guy in the back, some guy from the stage crew to mess around with dials. Forget the studios. Forget Broadway. Forget, symphonies. All of them have microphones all over the place. So there's not a premium put on power that has in the past. Again, I came up with Mel Broyles, William Vacchiano, Harry Glantz, John Ware, Adolf Herseth. Forget Maynard, Harry, Horst Fischer, Maurice Andre. These were strong players. And that's the tone that's in my ear. It is. It's absolutely the tone that's in my ear. Okay? Strong, strong players. Okay? Now, if anybody sat in this room with me, my power is off the charts. And I don't see any reason in the world why a trumpet player wouldn't want a big tone. Now, I get it. The student of today has Alan Vizzuti and Wynton Marsalis in their ear. Not Herseth, not Mel Broyles. I get it. I get it. Okay? But I'm coming from a different point of view. Now, I am not knocking Vizzuti and Wynton Marsalis. I'm just using them as models because everybody knows who I'm talking about. Okay? And guys, they're brilliant players. Brilliant players. But they are not strong players. When you're talking Vizzuti and you're talking Carnival of Venice compared to Del Stegers, compared to Doc Schutzer, oh God. Guys, his tone is a quarter of what they're putting out. Del Stegers didn't have microphones. He used to play outside in these amphitheaters. And you could hear every note he played. No, it's not the same. Wynton Marsalis, Guys, I have heard this guy play in person. I've heard this guy play in clubs. I've heard this guy play at the brass conference. I've heard this guy play at his lesson with Vacchiano. Guys, when I tell you his tone is this big, and don't get me wrong, those two guys, both Vizzuti and Witten, came up as prodigies. They were always out front playing the Carnival of Venice. They were always out front of the jazz band with the microphone right there. That's the way they played. And there's no reason in the world that they have to have the power of the guy in the back row that's knocking down the lead part. I get it. But I'm just saying, power is really, really not an emphasis put on today's teaching. Now, once again, it seems like I'm always, beating up on the orchestral guys. The orchestral scene has gotten so much weaker. So much weaker. A lot of that has to do with the conductor's concept. I get that. Schulte, my God, they couldn't play loud enough. They could not play loud enough. He just loved it. And when you got loud, he wanted more. Mahler, Strauss, it was devastating. The power and the majesty of that sound. You want to hear something spine-tingling? Chicago Symphony playing Wagner. Meister, oh my God. And it wasn't just Herseth, it was the whole orchestra. Right down to Arnold Jacobs. Yes, Arnold Jacobs. Video for another day. Anyway, power. I teach power. Okay? And if this is done correctly in the true power system, power is not advanced by blowing the walls down. It does not have to be ugly. It does not have to beat up your lips. It does not need a huge mouthpiece. It doesn't. If it's done properly, it's very, very little air, a small mouthpiece. Guys, no matter how you look at it, the strongest players ever, the guys that I just talked about, all use smallish mouthpieces. They just did. There's not a lot of monster players that are killing that 1 1/4 C. Phil Smith, there's a couple. And every one of them, they had to go above, we've been through this, above the high C, put in another mouthpiece, including Herseth. And they're all using C trumpets. Anyway, that's tone, but again, tone and power are very, very closely related. Now, here's another thing. If the power is learned correctly and performed correctly, the pianissimo playing is easy. Now that, if you play the bulk of your work, the Clark, the Arbin, and everything from mezzo forte to forte, in that volume level, you have no problem going down to a whisper. Now, on the other hand, if you play the majority of your 90% of your playing down in the mezzo piano to piano range, then all of a sudden when it's time to make up Mahler, Strauss, or Maynard, or Lionel Hampton, or something like that, that's when you collapse. So my players always learn from a big, full tone. Always. Occasionally, when a player is really overblowing, I will have them cut the volume down. And the chops come right back because they're cutting the air down. Now again, you don't have to cut the volume down. You heard my volume. Just because you cut the air down. But some people just can't get past the overblowing. And when you cut them down, get them down to a mezzo forte from a fortissimo, all of a sudden, things come right back. And I will only play softer when somebody's scuffling. Okay? Other than that, it's all mezzo forte to forte. And I always say, okay, I think I mentioned this yesterday, play the same phrase, whatever we're playing, an orchestral excerpt, Arbin, whatever. Play the same phrase like you are just you and a violin. Soft, delicate, in a whisper. They can all do it. Now play the exact same thing, even if it's a Charlie AA2. Even if it's a Charlie idea. Play it like you're playing a Main and Fergus band. Ba-da-da-da. It can be done. And there's no problem with the dynamic level. 3 P's to 3 F's without beating up your chops, without overblowing, without giving yourself a hernia. How many hernias did Phil Smith have? I love his playing, don't get me wrong. But he's working too hard. He's overblowing. Anyway, that's that. So anyway, tone, power. Endurance is tomorrow. Endurance is easy. Easy. And yeah, we're doing well. Anyway, eat and drink your fruits and vegetables. We'll talk again tomorrow. Tone, power, range, and endurance. Unlimited. Unlimited. Have a great day, guys. Love you all.